Welcome back to United Vision, your ultimate hub for Manchester United news, analysis, and behind-the-scenes updates. The buzz at Carrington is electric, with key players returning, Amorim's drills ramping up, and even a surprise boost on Matheus Cunha's recovery. Stick with me as we dive into today's training update. And before we get started, smash that subscribe button and join the family so you never miss a beat from Old Trafford. The buzz at Carrington crackled with readiness and quiet urgency. Despite several first-team stars being away on international duty, a core of returning players assembled in a compact, focused atmosphere. Those absent, from veterans like Bruno Fernandes and Dalot to internationals such as Onana and Ugarte, left gaps, but the squad that reported back brought a clear message. Manchester United are sharpening themselves for the road ahead. Leading the way were Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw and Leny Yoro, defensive pillars whose return brings composure to the backline. Their presence was a palpable relief. Every measured touch from Maguire, every overlapping run from Shaw, and Yoro's youthful positional awareness reinforced that foundation. The goalkeeping unit looked stronger too. Altay, Bayindir and Senne Lammens both recovered, rejoined the drills, adding confidence between the sticks. In midfield, Mason Mount and Kobbie Mainoo joined in early exercises, though both remain edged by their recent fitness concerns. Amorim led pressing drills, demanding bite from the returning core, even as others stood in for the missing internationals. The group's intensity was a statement. This training pitch may be lighter in numbers, but not in purpose. Of course, the headline was Matheus Cunha. Withdrawn from squad due to a hamstring scare, he isn't at full tilt. But today, he pushed onto the field, beginning with light shuttle runs, loose touches, and progressive finishing work with a touch of sharpness surprising given the concern. His steady adjustments signal hope that his return isn't just weeks away. It could be right in time for the high-stakes run. As drills turned into a small-sided game, the energy shifted. Despite missing several internationals, the returning players combined with academy prospects to fill lines. Passes were crisp, movement synced, and creative patterns surfaced, Rashford and Garnacho darting into channels while the midfield box-to-box engine whirred with renewed vigour. By the final whistle, there was a marked change in the room. This wasn't just recovery, it was resurgence. Even as some players remain absent with their countries, the return of core defenders, goalkeepers, and Cunha's cautious re-entry have left Carrington feeling rearmed. United are far from full strength, but they're forging forward, refocused and ready. So United fans, how excited are you about these returns at Carrington? Maguire, Shaw, Yoro, Lammens, Bayindir, and especially Cunha, edging closer to full fitness. Do you think this group can power United into a strong run when the Premier League return? Drop your takes in the comments below. I'll be reading them all. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to United Vision. Until next time, glory, glory Man United. Meanwhile, in previous news, Fabrizio Romano has revealed why Ruben Amorim personally wanted Andre Onana out of the picture at Old Trafford, and the reasons make total sense. Before we dig into the full story of why Amorim was bang on with this call, don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss a single update from United Vision. Manchester United's goalkeeper saga has taken another dramatic twist. With Senne Lammens arriving from Royal Antwerp, Andre Onana has been forced out of the Old Trafford picture and is on the verge of a loan move to Trabzonspor. On paper, it looks like a harsh demotion for a player who cost £47 million only 2 summers ago. But the full story shows exactly why Ruben Amorim was right to push for this decision. According to Fabrizio Romano, Amorim had 2 very clear reasons for showing Onana the door. First, he did not want unnecessary pressure placed on Lammens. At 23, the Belgian is expected to step into the number 1 role, but with Onana lurking on the bench, every mistake would have sparked a media circus. The headlines would have written themselves, "When will Onana be recalled? Should Onana get another chance?" Amorim saw that storm coming and decided to take it off the table. Second, Amorim wanted clarity. United were carrying 4 goalkeepers, Lammens, Onana, Altay Bayindir and Tom Heaton. An unhealthy situation for any squad, but particularly one where the spotlight burns brightest. By moving Onana out, Amorim simplifies the hierarchy and sends a message. Lammens is his man, no ifs or buts. It's also worth remembering how Amorim's patience with Onana ran thin over the summer. The Cameroonian returned from the break expecting a pay rise despite United's failure to qualify for the Champions League, a miscalculation that reportedly didn't sit well with management. To make matters worse, he injured his hamstring on the very first day of pre-season training, raising further questions about his focus and preparation. Now, Onana gets a fresh start in Turkey, and United avoid weeks of endless speculation. Amorim has taken control of the narrative, ensuring the focus stays on performances, not distractions. And he's absolutely right. History tells us that being Manchester United's goalkeeper is the most scrutinised job in English football. David De Gea, Peter Schmeichel, Edwin van der Sar. Their names are etched in history, but every mistake they made was magnified tenfold at Old Trafford. Lammens has just one season of Belgian top-flight experience under his belt, and Amorim knows the only way to give him a fair chance is to clear away the noise. With no European football and no League Cup rotation, the Belgian will have to grow fast under the spotlight. But if Amorim's bold decision pays off, this could be the beginning of a new era between the sticks at Old Trafford. So, United fans, was Amorim right to cut ties with Onana and clear the path for Senne Lammens? Or do you think Onana deserved another chance to fight for his spot? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be looking out for your thoughts. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe to United Vision, and turn on that bell for the latest from Old Trafford. Until next time, glory Man United meanwhile. In previous news, Grimsby Town's shock Carabao Cup win over United is under serious scrutiny after fielding an ineligible player. Pundits are calling for Grimsby to be kicked out of the competition, and the verdict has fans fuming. Before we get into the details, smash that subscribe button and join the United Vision family so you never miss the latest from Old Trafford. Manchester United get new Carabao Cup verdict as calls to kick Grimsby out of competition intensify. Grimsby Town have been fined for fielding an ineligible player in their Carabao Cup second-round match with Manchester United, but they have not been barred from the competition. Jason Cundy has joined the growing list of pundits calling for Grimsby Town to be thrown out of the Carabao Cup following their use of an ineligible player in their remarkable victory over Manchester United. Although he believes the Red Devils shouldn't be handed a reprieve. Grimsby supporters celebrated what many consider the finest night in their club's recent memory, as they stunned the Premier League giants, eventually winning 12-11 on penalties after letting a 2-goal slip in 90 minutes. However, an administrative error involving Clark Oduor has cast a shadow over the Mariners' achievement. Instead of being kicked out of the competition, they have been handed a financial penalty and allowed to continue into the third round, where they will face Sheffield Wednesday. Darren Bent has already voiced his opinion that Grimsby should be eliminated from the tournament, maintaining that if Oduor contributed to ending United's campaign, appropriate punishment must be imposed. The former England forward commented, "You have to question Grimsby's place in the competition." Cundy has now taken a similar stance, maintaining that the rules must be upheld, though United shouldn't be offered another opportunity, with Sheffield Wednesday instead progressing directly. He told TalkSport, "First off, if you break the rules like that, I don't see how Grimsby can be in the competition. I genuinely don't." It sounds harsh, but if that had happened the other way round, would we say, "No, it's fine, £20,000 fine for Manut"? Are we now judging it by the club? They broke the rules. I'm sorry, you have to leave the competition. I don't think Man UTD should get in either, by the way. They got knocked out. What should happen now? Whoever they're facing, they should get a bye. Grimsby should not be in the competition. If there's a law, it should be the same for everyone. He added, "Sorry, this sounds very harsh, but there's laws and rules for a reason, and if you break those, the punishment has to be." We've just seen what happened with Crystal Palace. Oduor had arrived at Grimsby on loan from Bradford City the day before the match. The player made his debut after coming on as a substitute during the second half, though he would miss his spot kick in the penalty shootout, luckily without damaging his new side's prospects. It later emerged that his registration had been completed just 1 minute after the mandatory 12 p.m. deadline on August 26th. In an official statement, the EFL confirmed that Grimsby had voluntarily reported the error, whilst detailing the punishment for the League Two club, a ruling that hasn't received widespread approval. They announced, "The club has since implemented several actions to prevent a similar occurrence in the future. The club will be liable for the suspended sum of £10,000 if they were to again field an ineligible player in any league competition between now and the end of season 2025/26. So United fans, what do you think? Should Grimsby be thrown out of the Carabao Cup for breaking the rules? Or is the fine punishment enough? And if they are removed, should United be reinstated? Or should Sheffield Wednesday get the bye? Let me know your opinions in the comments. This is one debate that won't cool down anytime soon. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to United Vision, and hit that bell so you're always first with the breaking United updates. Until next time, glory, glory Man United. Meanwhile, in previous news, Manchester United did make transfer proposal to midfielder, but Fabrizio Romano explains why it collapsed. Manchester United will be pleased with their summer transfer business, but many fans will argue Ineos were one midfielder shy from a perfect window. It is not only fans that feel that way either, as Ruben Amorim wanted an athletic midfielder signed this summer. Manchester United did inquire for Carlos Baleba, but Brighton wanted a £115 million fee and made it clear they don't plan on selling until 2026. During pre-season, Amorim spotted a lack of pace in midfield, and that is a weakness that has not been addressed over the summer. However, it was not for a lack of trying. It seems United did make a move for a midfielder on deadline day. Manchester United's loan proposal to Conor Gallagher was rejected. United in Focus spoke exclusively to transfer expert Graham Bailey on deadline day, and he revealed that United inquired about Conor Gallagher during the final days of the transfer window. The Red Devils ended up wrapping up their summer by completing an £18 million deal for Senne Lammens, and no midfielder ended up arriving. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that United made a loan proposal to Gallagher and explained that Atletico Madrid made it clear they have no plans to let the English midfielder leave. Romano explained that Premier League side Crystal Palace also made an inquiry and received the same answer, so United were left empty-handed in their midfield search. Ruben Amorim will have to cope with midfield until 2026. So far this season, Amorim has preferred a midfield combination of Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, hardly a duo that will calm his concerns over a lack of pace. Kobbie Mainoo's request to leave was rejected, with Amorim telling the 20-year-old Carrington graduate that he must fight for his spot. The Portuguese head coach must find a way to give him more minutes this season. The only other natural midfield option available to Amorim is Manuel Ugarte, but he has suffered a slow start to the season. Amorim has suggested that Mount can play in central midfield, but it already feels inevitable that a new midfielder will be a top priority in 2026. United are willing to wait until 2026 for Baleba, and a long-term replacement for Casemiro will be needed, given his contract is due to expire next summer. So United fans, there you have it. Fabrizio Romano confirming the loan proposal for Conor Gallagher and why it fell through, leaving us one midfielder short this summer. Do you think Gallagher would have been the right signing? Or should United keep their powder dry for Carlos Baleba in 2026? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this update, drop a like and make sure to subscribe to United Vision for all the latest news straight from Old Trafford. Until next time. Meanwhile, in other news,
Carlos Baleba, the Brighton star linked heavily with United, could be back on our radar with a rapid meeting lined up. Stick around, because this could be the midfield spark United have been crying out for. And hey, before we dive in, make sure you smash that subscribe button and join the family so you never miss a beat from the theatre of dreams. Manchester United set for rapid Carlos Baleba meeting after personal terms agreement. Manchester United transfer news as Carlos Baleba will meet with Ruben Amorim after United's summer interest. Manchester United will meet Carlos Baleba later this month, just weeks after the Reds inquired about the Brighton and Hove Albion Stars services. During the summer transfer window, United registered an interest in signing the defensive midfielder shortly after completing the signing of Benjamin Sesko. Brighton swiftly informed Ruben Amorim's men that Baleba wasn't for sale, and it wasn't long before United informed their Premier League rivals they would not pursue a move. Their interest is, however, expected to be reignited in the future. The Athletic reported after the transfer window closed that United had agreed personal terms with Baleba over a move to Old Trafford. However, Brighton's £150 million, at the minimum, valuation is said to have put them off. United eventually decided against signing a new midfielder before Monday's deadline, instead bringing goalkeeper Senne Lammens in. Amid speculation over his future, Baleba has remained extremely professional and started all 3 of Brighton's league games. The midfielder is currently away with Cameroon for their World Cup qualifying double-header against Eswatini and Cape Verde. Upon his arrival in England, the 21-year-old will return to the Brighton squad for a busy September. Fabian Hürzeler's side take on Bournemouth, Tottenham, Chelsea and Wolves in the league, and Barnsley in the Carabao Cup before the next international break. After the October pause in domestic football, United welcome Baleba to Old Trafford on October 25th. The game will see Amorim watch Baleba in action for the first time this season, and comes after a tough trip to rivals Liverpool the week previous. Baleba will have another chance to show United and Amorim what he can do on the final day of the season in May, when the reverse fixture takes place. And there you have it. Carlos Baleba, personal terms already agreed, and now a massive meeting with Amorim on the horizon. Do you think United should go all in on him despite Brighton's sky-high valuation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and hit subscribe with notifications on, so you're always in the loop with United Vision. Until next time.